We in there. What's popping? All right, welcome. Back again, once again, time and time again, my friends. You know how we do. We back every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, in between 3 p.m. and 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And remember, the clocks have changed back, so make sure you tune in on that. But make sure you are subscribed with the post notifications turned on. That way you do get updated anytime I do go live or post any educational content here on this channel. So without further ado, let's get right into it. XAUUSD monthly time frame. We've been speaking about this level. Go ahead and break it down. We've had previous structure resistance right here. Support, broke below, retested, acted as resistance, now broken down below, looking to be retested again. Since it is coming from the underneath, it is going to be acting as resistance to some sort, which we can start to see at the beginning of this week. But we do have a rejection from the down below in here in these bottoms, triple rejection, and we do have what could possibly be a W formation forming if the market wants to go ahead and continue that. But as it is right now, if we drop down to the daily time frame, what we can identify, let me clean this up just a bit, is that we do have a strong impulse to the upside. So the market can't go in one direction forever. Even if this does start to retrace, that could be the correction needed. We would still have to wait for the correction to come and end before we can look for the continuation to the upside. Or if this market wants to go ahead and continue impulsing as well, we still need to wait for the correction to come and end. So we still have some time, still have some developing left on this pair. If we drop down to XAGUSD on the monthly time frame, we can see the market moving up to the upside. Excuse me, we pointed it out. Previous structure support down in here, now breaking to the upside. Right on this side, if we do get the go ahead and close above this area, we could see further retracements made, and that is from the monthly time frame. If we look at the weekly, we are starting to see the rejections of some of these lows down in here. Some sort of retracement after this impulse to the upside. So we do have move to the downside, move up, move down, where you like to see the retracement come and end at the neckline for the continuation to the upside, but it doesn't necessarily have to. Nothing is 100% exactly as perfect as it can be in the Forex market, but we can see that we do have the break and close above some of this resistance in here. A logical place for the market to come back into is previous structure resistance, now turn support over on this side for the continuation to the upside. XBTUSD monthly time frame. If we do look at it on the monthly time frame, you can see that we are impulsing and breaking above some structure. So we do have some more structure right in this side, right in this area. If we drop down to the weekly time frame, we can see this, pinpoint this, make this a little more detailed. We can see we are starting to break above some of these areas right in here. If we drop down to the daily time frame, you can see that we are starting to impulse to the upside. If we do get some sort of retracement coming from this area, could be the move that we need to see to the upside, completing this move to the downside, move up, move down, come back, retest the neckline for a continuation to the upside on this market. US oil monthly time frame, pushing to the upside. We spoke about it before. Previous structure resistance right on this side, keeping it very simple and consistent, acting as support over in here. We've had the candle where we want to see the next one fill in the wick, and that is starting to happen as it is right now. If we drop down to the weekly time frame, we could see more continuation on this market, as we do have the most common pattern in the market forming right now, where we could see further continuation. If we drop down to the daily time frame in a little more detail, you can see that we are starting to get the impulse above some of this structure right in here, where a possible retracement back into some of these areas, which is what we're starting to get right in here, could provide the correction needed in order to see the continuation to the upside on this market. Now dropping down to the Forex market from a monthly time frame perspective on EURUSD, you can see that we are extremely bearish on this market. So there could be possible moves to the upside, but they are not bullish moves. This is not a full reversal. Just remember that these are monthly retracements. Any moves that we see to the upside until we see some of these monthly structures broken, which could be a while. But if we drop down on the weekly on EURUSD, you can see that we had a nice W formation created, completed at the neckline, where we could see possible continuation to the upside just from a weekly perspective. And if we do look at the daily time frame, you can see that we did have a very strong move to the upside, a very strong move back down to the downside, where we did have some structure with this structured candle, where the market did make some sort of resistance and support area, where we did come to this area, have some rejection, and now we are breaking above it, where we will probably close above this area. If we do get a retest back into some of these some of this structured candle area, we could see a possible continuation to the upside coming out of that. GBPUSD from the monthly time frame, you can see same thing, very bearish, but we are starting to see some corrective moves to the upside. If we look at the weekly time frame and we just follow the market, you can see that we did make a move to the upside here, come back for some sort of retracement, move up, move back down, breaking above some structure, coming back to retest some structure, and we are just starting to go ahead and make moves to the upside, creating higher lows. So there could be a possible move to the upside coming from GBPUSD, as it is currently breaking above some structure on the daily time frame as it is right now. There could be a possible move to the downside, find some structure, break below, immediately break back into the area, come back for a retest, not breaking below the left shoulder, where we could see a continuation to the upside on this market. AUDUSD monthly time frame, on the monthly, very extended to the downside, but we are starting a perfect retracement as it is right now. Same thing, these pairs are going to be correlated, so they're going to either be showing the same things on most time frames or the inverse, excuse me. But if we look at the weekly time frame, you can see that we are starting a very strong move to the upside, just creating some bullish candles on its way up, where we could look to reach some of these areas right in here, as there is not really anything to the left stopping us from a weekly perspective. If we do look at the daily time frame, you can see once again we had a very strong move up, very strong move down, but we are starting to break above some structure, retest that, and continue to the upside as it is on some of these major pairs. USD CAD from a monthly time frame, very extended to the upside, but can't move in one direction forever, so a retracement is in order. If we look at the weekly, you can see that we are starting to break below some weekly structures, coming back for some retracements and getting rejected of some previous structure support, now acting as resistance, where we could see further continuation to the downside just from a weekly perspective. If we look at the daily time frame, on the daily, very strong move to the downside, very aggressive move to the downside with this daily candle, breaking below a lot of structure. A possible retracement is what it looks like it's starting, where we could see a move into some of these areas for a continuation to the downside. NZDUSD monthly time frame, same thing, came into this area, previous structure support, now acting as support once again, where we could expect a bounce. On the weekly time frame, moving away from some of these areas where we would like to possibly see a retracement, come back and just retest previous structure, resistance, now turn support for a continuation to the upside. But this move is making a very strong move to the upside. If we do drop down to the daily time frame, you can see a very aggressive move, starting to break above some structure, trying to break above this resistance right in here, previous structure support, now ran into, should act as resistance in some sort. Now if we get a possible break above, that would be confirmation to go ahead and look for continuations to the upside as well. USDCHF monthly time frame, breaking above some structure, coming back for some retracements, corrections, exhaustions. That is very normal in the market, and you need that in order to see continuations in the trend. So we have a break above structure, coming back for a retracement, break above structure, coming back for a retracement, retesting previous structure resistance after this retest. So we could wait for the retest on the monthly time frame, which could take some time to develop. As you see on the weekly, we are pushing into that previous structure resistance that should act as support area now. We haven't touched yet, so if we drop down to the daily time frame, you can see a very aggressive move coming into this area and after the reaction. So no telling what may happen. If we do get the bounce from here, could possibly look for moves to the upside, but you could also get the break below, which is why you want to wait for the candles to close before you make your judgments. So even down to the daily time frame, when you're looking on what direction the market is going in, you want to wait for the daily close. But since the market is closing in about an hour and 40 minutes before market changeover, it's more than likely these candles are going to close as the way they are to some degree. So this move to the downside could possibly last a couple more days before you actually see the reaction. So it could take some time to develop. So these patterns are setting up, these pairs are setting up, just not quite there yet. On the monthly time frame of USDJPY, you can see very extended to the upside, very aggressive to the upside, where retracement is in order. Can't move in one direction forever. On the weekly time frame, you can see we are coming into some weekly resistance, and we're trapped into some weekly what was resistance now acting as support. So we kind of moving sideways. If you look at it on this market, we are just more than likely consolidating sideways. So best to wait for a breakout either to the upside of some of these areas. That was sloppy. To the downside or to the upside of some of these areas before making your judgment on which way you want to go. Either way, you could see some possible moves that could set up to some nice patterns. Now dropping down to BTC USD on the monthly time frame. Same thing over and over. Previous structure resistance over here, now acting as support, finding on this monthly time frame a double bottom. You know, you can from a double bottom you can expect some sort of bounce to the upside, not a full reversal, but just some bounce away from this area because it is acting as support. If we look at the weekly time frame, you can see on the weekly we are starting to push to the upside as well, where we do have this weekly move to the downside, move up, move down, move up, where you would like to see the market come back and retest the neckline before making the move to the upside. So there could be a possible retracement in order, which is exactly what we're seeing on the daily time frame. We've had nice moves up on Bitcoin, retracement, break to the upside, complete the most common pattern in the market, coming back to retest some of these previous structure resistance that should act as support. If you start to see the reactions from that area, it could be a possible move to the upside to go ahead and just follow the trend. So that is really much on BTC USD. Nothing too explosive, as we're not expected to have the halving event until 2024, which then we could probably see markets go retest all-time highs or even make new all-time highs. So that's pretty much it. Real quick one, real short one. We will get up out of here. Appreciate y'all for viewing. And all right, hope you're having a profitable day on and off the charts. And until next time. Wow.